Welcome to What's Your Skincare Routine with Leora Luciano. I'm your host, Leora, and this is the Emmy Watch Guide. So, my screen time is like a lot. Genuinely a lot. I watched 20 out of the 21 shows nominated in the major Emmy series categories this year: drama, comedy, and limited or anthology series, because apparently that's how I spend my time. And I'm not saying that because I think you should watch every single nominee. You absolutely should not. There are too many shows, too many platforms, and honestly, too many things competing for our time right now. And I'm saying this because I've done the research by actually watching, and I'm here to give you the curated version, not the you need to know this to win it trivia version, the what is actually worth your time based on what you're currently in the mood for version. Think of this as a watch guide for people who want to be part of the conversation, who want something good to put on, or who just need somebody to cut through all the options and tell them what's worth the commitment. This is a two-part series. For part one, we're starting with HBO Max, Apple TV, FX, and Hulu. These are the platforms with the biggest nomination hauls, the most talked about shows, and a few things the Emmy conversation completely missed, in my humble opinion. And real talk, since I have watched 20 of the 21, you'll notice one major nominee I didn't watch, and I'll be honest about it right when we get there. Let's start with HBO Max, because they had the biggest nomination haul of any platform this year, 122 Emmy nominations. And that makes sense because the lineup is kind of stacked. If you could only watch one HBO Max drama from this entire conversation, I'm telling you, start with The Pitt. Now, that recommendation comes with a warning. You need to be okay with blood. You need to be okay with medical emergencies. And you need to be ready for television that can be emotionally intense in a way that stays with you. The Pitt is not a cute background noise show or second or third screen. And this is not something I would put on when I'm trying to wind down after a stressful day. This is a show that pulls you in, and it makes you deeply invested in every single person working in that hospital, and then has you sitting there at 11 p.m. wondering why you decided to watch just one more episode when you have to be up early. But here's the thing. It's excellent. If you like high-stakes drama, great ensemble acting, and a show that feels urgent from the first episode, this is the one. The Pitt led this year with 25 Emmy nominations. So it's not just me saying, oh, this is a good show and this is one to watch. It's kind of the show of the Emmy season. So my verdict is you should clear your schedule and start when you're emotionally prepared to, of course, and maybe don't watch it right before bed because you're not going to fall asleep too easily right after. Now, if The Pitt is stressful realism, The Gilded Age is the complete opposite. This is glamour, wealth, social ambition, beautiful clothes, beautiful interiors, and people who are politely, elegantly trying to destroy each other while wearing incredible gowns. Watch The Gilded Age if you want historical escapism that looks expensive. This is for anyone who loves fashion, status, drama, old money versus new money tension, and a show where costumes honestly deserve their own awards category. This is a pour yourself a glass of something special and let me be enveloped by something gorgeous and substantial on the screen. For comedy, you have Hacks. And if you haven't watched Hacks yet, I honestly don't know what you're waiting for. It's sharp, it's funny, it's smart, and it has so much to say about ambition, relevance, career reinvention, friendship, aging, and what it takes to keep going in an industry that loves telling women when their time is supposed to be over. If you're a creator, if you've ever had to reinvent yourself, if you're figuring out how to stay visible without losing your mind, there's a lot here for you. Hacks has led the comedy field with 24 nominations, and it's one of those shows that's both critically celebrated and genuinely fun to watch. It's not trying to be twee or clever for its own sake. It's just good television. And it is very funny too. My verdict, this is not just comedy though. This is smart career television with really sharp jokes. Then you have DTF St. Louis, which is the limited series option if you're looking for something different. If you want something adult, contained, and you don't want to make a 5-season commitment to a show, this is where I would send you. This is for the viewer who wants a complete story, some mess, some heat, and a show they can actually finish in a weekend. It's sharp, it's got energy, and it knows exactly what it is and is going to take you along for the ride. And then we have A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. This is the one nominee I did not watch, so I'm not going to have a fake review. I'm not going to act like I watched it just because it was nominated. If you're a fantasy person, it's clearly one to know because it's in the drama lineup. But my 20 out of 21 qualifier is real, so this is the one that got away from me. Okay, before we leave HBO Max, I have to talk about the shows that were not in these major series categories, but absolutely should be on your radar. My biggest actual snub is Industry. If you like shows about money, power, ambition, sex, professional jealousy, backstabbing, beautiful clothes, terrible decisions, and just watching people make choices that you personally would never make, but maybe can almost understand why they're making them, then Industry is your show. I'm not saying every show has to be nominated to be good, but I am saying that when people ask me for an HBO drama to watch after they've already finished the obvious ones, Industry is always on my list. It's sharp, it's stylish, and it's emotionally messy in the best way, and it has 0 nominations despite critical acclaim. So, in my book, that's a snub. And then there's Heated Rivalry, which is probably one of the biggest shows of the year in terms of cultural conversation. But I want to be precise about this. It was not eligible for this Emmy cycle, so it's not an Emmy snub. And here's why. It's a Canadian production that HBO Max picked up for US distribution. So the eligibility rules didn't work out. But of course, it's a massive show culturally, so I wanted to make sure that it was on your radar if you are not already at the cottage. And then finally, Rooster. Now, Steve Carell received a lead actor in a comedy series nomination for this show, but the show itself was not nominated in the comedy series category. And I think it deserves a mention. It's a character-based comedy, and it's warm, it's funny, it's emotionally complicated and layered. And if you love Steve Carell, or if you just want a comedy that has actual heart underneath the jokes, this is a great one to watch. Rooster is worth your time. If you need the HBO Max cheat sheet, the Pitt is for intense drama that will leave you shook. The Gilded Age is for glamour and escapism, hacks, sharp comedy, and smart career storytelling. And Industry for my personal, why are people not talking about this pick? That's what I'm saying. For me, those are my recs for HBO Max. Now let's go to Apple TV, which had 89 Emmy nominations this year. And here's what I'd say about Apple TV. Pick your mood, press play, and you're probably going to be in very good hands. The shows on this platform have a strong point of view. They're polished, they're thoughtful, and there's pretty much something for every mood and every genre. First, Pluribus. Go into this one blind if you can. I did, and I think that's the best experience. This is the ultimate group chat show because it's the show that gives your group chat something to do. It's conversation starting, it's theory building, and you will immediately want to text somebody after you watch it. You'll understand why everyone is suddenly saying, "We just want to help, Carol." My verdict, do not Google too much before you start. Really, just press play and have somebody ready to debrief with because you're going to need it. Next, Slow Horses. I'm going to be honest with you. When I started season 1, I was a little slow to start with Slow Horses. I didn't immediately understand the obsession, but I stayed with it, and now I really appreciate this show. It's smart, it's dry, it's tense in a really understated way. It's funny in a very specific British way, and it's one of those dramas where the writing and the ensemble really reward you once you settle in and let it go to work. So if you started and thought, okay, I'm not fully there yet, I'm telling you, give it time, it's worth it. And now is actually the perfect time to catch up because season 6 premieres on September 16th, with new episodes dropping weekly through October 21st. So if you want to become current on it, now is the perfect window. For messy drama, and I mean money, status, secrets, relationship problems, and very bad decisions, watch Your Friends and Neighbors. This is for anyone who loves a polished world where everything looks beautiful on the outside, but everyone is doing something questionable behind closed doors. It's got wealth, it's got tension, it's got people making choices that are both kind of understandable, but also terrible. And you know, I love a show where people have too much money, too many secrets, and zero ability to make the healthy choice. This is that show. It's compelling, it's uncomfortable, and it's exactly the kind of drama that makes you grateful your life is not this messy. And then there's Margo's Got Money Troubles, which was a really unexpected favorite for me. It's a messy life comedy, but it has so much heart and vulnerability. It understands money stress. It understands family complications, trying to figure out yourself while also trying to hold it all together. When life is absolutely not following the plan that you had for yourself, it's funny, but it's not empty. There's a real tenderness in it, a real humanity, and it doesn't punch down at its main character. It sees her honestly. My verdict: if you want a comedy that feels human, messy, emotionally honest, that makes you laugh but also makes you feel something real, watch this one. And there are a few episodes where I definitely ended up crying, so just be prepared. If you want something darker, but you don't want to turn on every light in your home, watch Widow's Bay. It's a dark comedy, it's a little spooky, it's strange in a fun way, and it's for people who want atmosphere and weirdness without fully entering the horror movie territory. It's stylish, and it really understands how to do a little bit creepy without being mean-spirited. My verdict: it is spooky, stylish, and definitely not the thing that will keep you up at night, and it is so worth it. So the Apple TV guide is Pluribus if you want that group chat conversation starter, Slow Horses if you want smart, grown-up drama, Your Friends and Neighbors if you want beautiful, bad decisions, Margo's Got Money Troubles if you want heart, and Widow's Bay if you want something spooky but still fun. Apple TV is the platform where you really can't go wrong. Now we're moving into FX and Hulu. This is where you get a mix of intense prestige shows, very stylish limited series, and a couple of easy to recommend comfort watches. First, The Bear. I don't know how else to describe this show except, yes, it's excellent. No, it is not relaxing. So if you want food, family dysfunction, anxiety, career pressure, incredible performances, and a show that can make a restaurant kitchen feel like an action movie, watch The Bear. But I want you to know what you're getting into. This is not I had a long day, let me put something soft on. This is, I want to feel every single emotion in an episode. It's intense, it's tight, and it doesn't let up. So if you can handle that kind of intensity and you want to watch television that is genuinely excellent, The Bear is it. For fashion, fame, historical fact mixed with historical fiction, watch Love Story, John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette. This is one of those shows where the style is part of the storytelling. You're watching the public fascination, the media attention, and the way two people become part of a much bigger cultural myth. It's a limited series, so it's contained commitment, but it's a stylish and compelling one. If you like a limited series that gives you glamour, intrigue, and plenty to discuss afterward, this absolutely belongs on your list. For mystery, I have to say Paradise. Go in blind to this one too. I'm not going to tell you too much because this is one where the less you know, the better. If you want tension, mystery, and a show that makes you need to know what's happening next, this is your pick. Just trust me on this one. And when you need a palate cleanser after all of that intensity, Only Murders in the Building is your cozy mystery choice. It's funny, it's stylish, it's charming, and it's so easy to watch. You have the mystery, you have the apartment building, and you have the outfits. You have the friendships, and you don't have to emotionally recover afterward. This is the show that I would choose if you want something clever but still comforting. For my overlooked shows on Hulu, my pick is The Testaments. Chase Infinity did get a lead actress in a drama series nomination, but I think the entire show deserved a much larger conversation. This is dystopian drama. It's female-centered storytelling. It's based on Margaret Atwood's sequel to The Handmaid's Tale. And Chase Infinity is phenomenal in it. And if you love character-driven drama that leaves you with a lot to discuss afterwards, then you'll want to put The Testaments on your list. Okay, here is your part 1 cheat sheet. This is a quick reference if you just want to pick based on your mood. If you want intense drama and you can handle blood and high stakes, watch The Pitt. If you want glamour, expensive-looking escapism, and social warfare in gorgeous costumes, watch The Gilded Age. If you want sharp comedy and smart career storytelling and complicated women being brilliant, watch Hacks. If you want messy drama full of bad decisions, watch Your Friends and Neighbors. If you want dark comedy that's spooky but not terrifying, watch Widow's Bay. If you want mystery, watch Paradise and Go In Blind. If you want fashion, fame, historical facts, and historical fiction all rolled up into one, watch Love Story, John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette. If you want my underappreciated pick, the one I will continue to recommend until more people get on board, watch Industry. Seriously, go watch Industry. In part 2, we're doing Netflix, Peacock, ABC, and CBS, romance for grown-ups, dark thrillers, warm comfort comedies, and the performance I still think the Emmys missed. I'll watch the show so you don't have to, unless I tell you you absolutely should. So until next time, stay glowing, and I'll see you soon.